But that's another matter, because now it's time for me and my bike here to go for a damn good thrash. Sorry, I mean it's time for our assessed ride. Now then, I've got a one-way intercom in here. That's one way coming from Gary to me, so I can hear his cool, calm and collected instruction, whereas he doesn't have to put up with my screams of terror as I barrel down unknown roads. So let's get to it.
Following Gary in the early stages of the ride was really interesting. The lines he was taking on the road were absolutely inch perfect, and it made sense with everything that he'd said earlier. The thing I found most interesting, however, was the way that he would go so wide and so deep into all of the corners, whereas I noticed I had a tendency to turn in a little too early. Perhaps this is because I spent a bit too much time on the racetrack and not enough time on the open road, but I noticed that as I started to follow his line and go in later, I was getting a much better view around the corners. I was learning something already, and we'd only been gone about 2 minutes.
Now, as far as I can tell, Gary, that looks like a pretty innocuous and fun right-hand bend.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's a nice, open, quite quick right-hand bend.
Yeah.
The only problem comes with it if you fail to take all the information in on the approach.
Okay.
And that's that.
That changes it slightly.
That changes it just a little bit, because where you're approaching this corner now, how much of that junction can you see?
None.
None, exactly. So put yourself in the place of somebody sitting in the junction waiting to turn right. How much of you can he see?
I know this one, hang on. It's none, isn't it?
It's absolutely none, yes.
So he's round there in the junction, waiting to pull out, can't see us, road's clear.
He is going to go.
Quite, yes.
He's looking to his right, there is nothing coming. It can't get better than that.
Nope.
That's the moment he'll pull out. Sod's law has it, that's the moment we'll hove into view.
At a good speed,
At a
having
fair
not
speed,
seen this.
Having not seen that, and a conflict will occur. What we need to do is plan for it. Use our imagination. We can't see it, he can't see us. So we just position the bike well into the near side of the road to get that best view round the corner. But in this occasion, also so we can be seen earlier.
Yes.
We then get our speed off on the approach, because it's dead hard to get rid of in the middle of a corner, and we make sure we've got a responsive gear engaged. Because unlike a car, we've got an extra option to get out of trouble.
Now towards the end of the day, we'd swapped the lead enough times, and I've got over the initial feeling of having Big Brother watching over my shoulder, and have been able to relax, take on board what I'd learned, and really cut loose.
So now we're here at accident hotspot number 3. Now looking down there, I think I've got an idea what the problem might be in a situation like this. However, for the real answer, let's find out. Gary, what exactly goes on here?
Well, as you can see, we've got a nice straight piece of road.
Yeah.
Bikers generally quite like that, easy to ride down. It's also easy to do what bikes do best, which is overtake things.
Yeah.
The problem we've got here is we've junctions on both sides of the road, and this is where people come into conflict with each other. What generally happens is not what you might imagine. Bikes don't generally hit something coming the other way when they're overtaking. What they usually do is hit someone going the same way as them when they do a right turn on them. Down the middle of the road, we've got this hazard line. You're only going to find that at junctions, bends and hill crests.
You mean like it's longer than a standard?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a classic warning that something is wrong. Just wait. We've got more power than you can shake a stick at. We find acceleration the easiest thing in the world. Now all it needs is to wait 10 yards.
Right then, that's it for part 1, but join us again in part 2 when we'll be putting the VFR 800 and the Aprilia Futura head to head, and you will be deciding the winner. On top of that, I'll also be getting the results from my assessed ride.